Hi, Biggie here, with a little informal review of the Flash trailer. I had this idea to do a more relaxed setting with a little breakfast, have my coffee. I've got my Danish, and I'm just going to talk about the Flash trailer for a little bit. I plan on doing these kind of videos intermittently when I don't think something can fit a full episode of the Mister Big Show, but I really want to speak on it. So, without further ado, the Flash trailer. Have my notes here. The trailer starts out with a voiceover saying that Barry can travel the multiverse, while it shows a bat cowl and a run-down Wayne Manor, which is very indicative of the Flash. It's kind of his modus operandi, speed, and a lot of his stories involve either time travel or traveling through the multiverse, and we've known for a while that this movie is going to be based off the Flashpoint paradox, which I will talk about more towards the end of this video. The second thing is it very quickly establishes that the Flash is trying to save his mom. A very big part of the Flash's backstory is that his mom dies, his dad's in prison, and he feels guilty over it. And that is another big plot point of the Flashpoint paradox, that the Flash does try to save his mom, and paradoxi ensue. He creates a world without any metahumans in it because he tries to run back in time to save his mom, as I just mentioned. So, there's nobody there to actually save the world from Darkseid, Steppenwolf, anybody that's come or is going to come in the DC movies, except for Barry. In this new world, he does run into his duplicate pretty fairly quickly, but he's not the Flash. He's just Barry. However, later in the trailer, it does show the lightning bolt that turns Barry into the Flash, striking both Barrys. So there's a very good chance that we're going to have two Flashes, and I have a theory on that. We do get a quick glimpse of the Flash ring, which is just where he keeps his outfit when he's not using it. It's really more of an Easter egg, I think, more than anything, but it is really cool to see, to be completely honest, if you're an aficionado. It is confirmed that Michael Shannon is returning as Zod. We see him in the trailer, and he still looks really good, to be honest. He still looks like Zod. Faora is said to return, but I didn't see her in the trailer. There may have been a blink and you miss it cameo, because it does state that Barry is there during the Kryptonian invasion during Man of Steel in the alternate timeline. So it may be a blink and you miss it cameo, and I missed it, but I didn't see her, but she is stated to be in the movie as well. One of the bigger things about this movie and about the trailer that I'm excited about is Sasha Calle's Supergirl. This is the first time in the mainstream DC universe movies that we actually get to see Supergirl. She got a pretty bad movie a long time ago, and that's better left forgotten. But this Supergirl looks to be inspired from the Superman from Flashpoint Paradox. He was kept in a chamber underneath Metropolis and never got to metabolize any sunlight. So he's just this really scrawny little kid that doesn't really have any superpowers. And it looks like they're swapping her out for him. And she looks like she does a really good job in the footage that we see in the trailer. That remains to be seen. As with anything, I do have high hopes. And now, for the moment that we've all been waiting for, Michael Keaton is back as Batman. However, I don't think that he's Bruce Wayne. I keep talking about the Flashpoint paradox, the story. You can either read the comic or watch the animated DC movie. But in essence, in that, the Flash runs back in time to save his mom, and he creates an alternate timeline where Atlantis is at war with the Amazons, and the Earth is pretty much just caught in the crossfire. Superman, like I said, he crash landed at a different time in a different location, and the government took him and kept him under Metropolis, and he couldn't metabolize any sunlight. So he's this little weakling. Shazam is different. The entire Shazam family has to use the magic word, and they all turn into Shazam. There's just alternate versions of heroes and villains, and it's pretty much a dark dystopian timeline. The Reverse Flash is involved, but long story short, Batman in that is not Bruce Wayne. He's Thomas Wayne, Bruce's father. In this timeline, Bruce died in the alley when Joe Chill robbed him, not Thomas and Martha. Martha turned into the Joker due to her grief, turning her insane, basically. And Thomas, dealing with it, just turned into a more violent, gun-using version of Batman. And on the surface, seems pretty cut and dry. But honestly, they do a really good job of packing an emotional punch. With Thomas being Batman and Martha being the Joker, it kind of gives them a new dynamic as a hero and a villain, because they're more than just a good guy and a bad guy that, for whatever reason, are connected. They're connected on just a more spiritual level in a way. And they really do a good job in the story of showing that. And I really hope that we get to see Martha Wayne Joker in the movie, or at least it being alluded to. I kind of think that's stretching it a little bit, but a guy can hope, right? This has just been a little impromptu breakfast video where I wanted to talk about the Flash trailer and just give my opinions on it until a more professional, I'll say, video can be made when more information's out, when the movie comes out. I do think it's going to be good. It comes out in June. Everything I've seen about it looks really good. I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited to see Michael Keaton return as Batman. As most of my generation knows, Michael Keaton played Batman in the first live-action Batman movie in '89, and then returned in Batman Returns. And both movies were phenomenal. They had great actors as villains to play against Michael Keaton. And he's gone down in history as one of the best live-action Batman actors, if not the best. It's kind of debatable since Batman's such a multifaceted character. Everybody kind of puts their own take on it, and everybody in a way is sort of right, but everybody that I've talked to is excited to see Michael Keaton return, and he always brings the energy to whatever role he does. So needless to say, even if the rest of the movie is not great, you can bet that Michael Keaton's going to be good. However, I do think the movie's going to be good, for the record, but time will tell. Tune in next time.